United States and Europe together. We have laid out two paths for President Putin and for Russia: the path of diplomacy and de-escalation, and the path of deterrence, including the serious costs, the massive consequences that Russia would incur if it renews its aggression against Ukraine. And we are now in the process, the starting process, of testing whether this path of diplomacy and de-escalation can bear fruit. And that depends very much on whether Russia is truly willing to engage it. That's a snowy Washington, D.C. We're extremely excited to win. So the real question is whether Russia is serious about diplomacy, serious about de-escalation. It's important that we begin these conversations. I think if they're going to bear fruit, if they're going to show real progress, that will require de-escalation. It's very hard to make actual progress in any of these areas in an atmosphere of escalation and threat with a gun pointed to Ukraine's head. So let's see where this goes over the next weeks.
U.S. question goes to Missy Ryan of the Washington Post. Missy, if you could unmute yourself.
Both Germany and the United States see Russia's actions toward Ukraine as an immediate and urgent challenge to peace and stability in Europe.
I'm going to repeat.
We condemn Russia's military buildup on Ukraine's borders, as well as Moscow's increasingly harsh rhetoric, as it continues to push the false narrative that Ukraine seeks to provoke a conflict with Russia. That's a little bit like the fox saying it had no choice but to attack the henhouse because somehow the hens presented a threat to it. What's happening right now with Russia's actions toward Ukraine isn't just about Ukraine, as important as that is. It's about some of the most basic principles of international relations that we both share. And here at the snowy Washington, D.C., we're extremely excited to work with you.
In light of the situation at the Ukrainian-Russian border, we made it clear, yes, a further military escalation and a violation of the sovereignty of Ukraine would entail enormous economic consequences, and this also affects the financial sector, and we're in close coordination and exchange. And at this point, I want to reiterate that in my meeting, I underlined the joint declaration with the U.S. government, where both countries agreed that there should be effective measures should Russia weaponize energy. We do not only fully support this, but also this, of course, applies to the new federal government.
Missy Ryan of the Washington Post. Missy, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Nord Stream 2 has geopolitical implications. We agreed on this together with our European partners, that we take effective measures together with our European partners should Russia use energy as a weapon, or should it continues its aggressive acts against Ukraine. But let me underline the following. At present, every day, every hour, every minute, we are doing everything we can in order to avoid further escalation, further aggressions.
Vielen Dank, alles Gute.